Evening, Manchester United fans. Welcome to Dan United. My guest host tonight, as always, is Kev United. And boy, have we got some bits and pieces to talk about tonight. We've got more news about the takeover. We've also got more news about players. Are they ready to get back into the first team? And also, is there a certain Kobbie Mainoo whose story is not yet done at Manchester United? I hope everyone's well. But first and foremost, Kev, how are you feeling, my man?
All right, we were just doubled. It was me. I had a volume on somewhere, so I've turned it off. So yeah, it was doubled. I'm all good. All good. Yeah, I'm quite confused about all of this. Who's doing what and who's where and who's making bids and who's talking. But we'll try and clear it up today or this evening.
It's getting exciting, mate. I don't know why, but I'm starting to get this real weird feeling, as much as Jar will do his best to make me think otherwise. I'm starting to get this real big feeling of excitement, and there's plenty of news to discuss, and we'll go straight into it. And before we do, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe and the bell notification. We are live most nights, roughly around the 8 o'clock mark. But let's get straight into it. So, Indy Kyler news. Now, some people are a little miffed at this lot. Some people say they just throw news out there and hope it sticks. However, they have got history of breaking news that is pretty damning and pretty exciting. The biggest one will be the Carlos Baleba news. They're the ones that broke it about us looking at going in for him, and Brighton saying yay, nay, waiting for prices. But they come out today and said that their sources at Manchester United have stated that apparently today at 1 p.m. in London, Man United officials met with the United Arab Emirates-based consortium that are interested. Now, look, Jarl, if you're here, don't get too excited just yet. But what I will say with this is there does seem to be a lot more breaking about this supposed takeover or investment. Now, we have obviously gone through so much turmoil with Manchester United and the Glazers. There was a lot of news when Sir Jim come in. We said, well, he's a local lad. His words, not mine. He wants what's right for the club. He come in and he's not exactly had the start to his career in having the ownership with Manchester United as he wanted. But the main thing to remember here, Kev, and this is what's getting me excited, is this bit of news doesn't keep going away, in the sense that the Glazers are open to all possibilities. Yeah. This is something we haven't been used to for a long time. We thought they were going to be here forever, especially when they went with the part ownership theory with Sir Jim. So how are you feeling about that? We will come into your comments in the chat in a second.
Yeah, like you say, it's not going away. I mean, the little bit of research, I did about an hour early on after I finished my reactions and stuff, and I'm learning. It's very interesting. There's still references to previous people that were looking at taking us over. They're not going away either, by the looks of it. Potential a bit of a fight for people to buy United. That might be quite nice.
It's what they want, though. It's what the Glazers want. And do you know something? I'll be honest with you. It's what I bloody want. I want people interested in getting into this club. I don't care if it's a full sale, or I don't care if they're just coming in to throw money at it. We saw Tottenham Hotspur a couple of weeks ago get some more investment into their club, 100 million. Manchester United, for this whole process, and we've spoken about the system, dare I say the system, we've spoken about the players, we've spoken about the people in the background. There's a lot of work to be done at this club. We need money to do that. We will not be able to achieve what Barada has told us, the project 2028. We will not be able to achieve that at the moment, I think, the way we are going. Because like I said last night, we are still borrowing on the credit cards. We're still doing the installments with players. We are not at the head of the table to go out there and buy players. We're not. So this just keeps coming in and in and in. And it's the United Arab Emirates link that keeps me going as well, Kev. This doesn't go away. Now, before we go into it more, let's make sure we say a couple of hellos here. Jarl did come back after a bit of back and forth and says, react away. I got burned bad on the Qatar thing. Now I do not believe anything until I actually see movements. There won't be any movement until the Glazers offer Ineos to buy the rest of the shares. I disagree with that, Jarl. I don't think Ineos have the money. I don't think they have the capital to go full in and buy this club. If they did, they would have done it at the start. I think it was just a case of, on paper, they look incredible, but we all know that there is money issues with other bits of what they do in EOS. Now, the next comment, let's just get... Oh, sorry, I lost it there. Chappie, good to see you back, my man. I hope you had a really, really nice evening last night. I hope you're well. Anthony Buckley comes in with the nice comment. Dan, the Magic Man, evening. Good evening to you, sir, and evening to everyone. Chappie then fires in with Del Boy and Rodney in charge of the sale, I heard. And then Anthony also says, Kev, you legend.
Nice one, Anthony. You legend.
Legend as always. Good to see you. Andy, good to see you. Steve-O, great to see you, my man. Jamie as well. Evening, Dan and Bev. Who's Bev? And Bev, hope you're okay. Bev, she's in the cupboard. No, she's not. Don't worry. Anthony says, same thing I've said for months. If you don't hear it from United, I don't believe it. Too many things involved, i.e. informing stock market. Well, I've got something on that.
I'm completely happy with people being skeptical. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
I've got something on that with regards to the stock market, which is what fills me with a bit of hope. But we'll go on to that in a bit. And Chappie says it's like the story of the boy who cried wolf. When it happens, we won't believe it. That's true. UAE pretty much owns the cycling scene for the last few years, and Sir Jim is not going to walk away. Is that a pun there, or I don't know? So look, we'll go into the share side of it, and I have got my notes. You know, I always get my notes for these things. Now, here's where the stock market, the stock exchange comes into it for Manchester United. And this is why the video is titled 2027. So there is the drag-along agreement. We know that the Ineos are involved with the Glazers. However, the drag-along rights expire on February 2027, which is why 2027 is key here. Now, with regards to that, this would requiring any pre-deadline sale to hit at least $33 per share to protect Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 27.7% stake. Now, this basically means that up until 2027, that $33 a share is what the club would be sold at, which is why if the Glazers wanted to sell the club, it would have to be for $5.7 billion. That would protect Sir Jim. The other side of this is, and this is what excites me here, is after that, the prices drop. Manchester United would no longer be a club that could earn the Glazers $5.5 billion. Well, take Sir Jim's out there, so $4 billion. It would drop. United are valued around $2.5 billion. Now, Kev, you know, I'm not going to try and be a mathematician here, but what sounds better to you, 5.7 billion or 2.2 billion?
Well, yeah, I think that's an obvious answer, isn't it? Is that what it is? 2.5, did you say? Is that what we're valued at?
Yeah, roughly about 2.5. Obviously, it goes, it differentiates with different outlets. But the thing with this is, 5.7 billion is a a lot of money. It's a big chunk of change it's money, ridiculous money. Yeah. It also protects Sir Jim. It also protects Sir Jim's investment because he would get the money back. After this, it would be all-out war, which is why I'm not surprised that we've started to see these bits of news start to drop, that Manchester United investors are looking. The Glazers are looking at selling. I think they'd be foolish, and I will say it, I'm not backing the Glazers, but I think they would potentially be ridiculous to not try and get this done before that finishes, before the 2027 deadline. Now, how many months is that? Is it 15 months away? I think we're going from today. That's not a long time, Kev, in the world of football.
No, it'll fly by.
It will fly by because you've obviously got the due diligence aspect. If something was to be accepted from a Far East consortium, we know that there is so many hoops they have to jump through. Remember the Newcastle United sale. That took them so long to do that because it was all the ethics side of it. So my question to you, Kev, is obviously with regards to the share prices, and I'll ask this to the chat as well, does this make you think this could happen, or does that make you think, nah, this is a little bit out of the way here?
I think it's going to happen. I'm fairly convinced it's going to happen. The time's up. The Glazers' time is done. Their time is up. You know, I was virtually wearing my green and gold shirt here for this stream to signify get those people out. No, the time's done at the club. I think they've always had pound sides in their eyes. They've dragged our club and put us into. I know they came into debt, but they put us into massive amounts of debt. Surely they're not daft. They're not stupid people. They will take this deal, and wherever that's going to come from, because all the names, there's still various names getting mentioned, as I said at the start. Wherever it comes from, I think it's definitely going to happen. It's just not sad, but 2027. Yeah, it's a little time away, and we could do with the investment now. We're sort of
yeah.
Shifting, but
let me ask you this, though, Kev: would you take another 15. Well, let's essentially put them in charge of the 27-28 season. So that'd be what, 2 seasons away. Would you take mediocrity knowing that was the end goal, or would you rather us qualify for Champions League and see if we could sort this out with Sir Jim and hopefully push forward like Sir Jim is every time he speaks seeming to think that we will do?
Sir Jim needs to do something spectacular. If it's going to be him until we can't have mediocrity anyway. But we need some short-term investment from somewhere. If that's got to come from Sir Jim, we need that. That has to come, because we still, as of the stream yesterday, we're looking at still getting expensive players into the club. So this needs, we can't have mediocrity for two seasons, or season and a half or whatever. No, we can't have that. Absolutely not. The club needs to start pushing back up. We need at least, I'm going to say at least 2 top 8 finishes until this potential takeover is going to happen. I think anything lower than that, I'd be disappointed. I'm not too disappointed because I don't get massively disappointed, but that's what I expect. But as I've said to you before, I expect us to be challenging for the title every single season, and have done since I started supporting Man United. And why should nothing like that? Why shouldn't all the people in the chat be thinking like that? The reality is not there. But again, as we've said, it's still dead early on in the season. But mediocrity until a potential takeover comes out is completely unacceptable. So no, I wouldn't accept that at all. Not at all.
I agree. And I don't have, like Ariana Grande once sang, all out of tears left to cry. I am done with getting my emotions about the Glazers. Everyone in world football, we have become the Newcastle United in that sense. For years, everyone said to Newcastle United, Mike Ashley's destroying your club. He's destroying your club. And now, obviously, they've got the new owners. It's the same with Manchester United. I hear rival fans all the time say the same thing. As much as we talk about 115 with Man City, they say to us, how are you able to run still with that much debt? And I look at them and I say, I completely agree with you. Yeah. A club as big as Manchester United should not be able to do it. We're just very fortunate that Manchester United, as a turnover, we seem to bring a lot of revenue in. But we're still money down, and we will continue to be money down. And it doesn't matter if Sir Jim goes and sacks the bloody cleaning crew and brings in his nephew to do it for a bit of pocket money. It doesn't matter if instead of serving proper cooked meals to the players, he's at home on a Tuesday night doing all the sandwiches, getting it all from Aldi, saving money on ham. It doesn't matter. What matters now is the fact that this issue with Manchester United still being recognised as one of the biggest clubs in the world, regardless of the ethical side of it, Manchester United need the investment. Manchester United need a new direction. And yes, that direction may come with the new ownership coming in and new manager coming in. It could do that. But the first thing here, we need the Glazers gone. And if Sir Jim is part of them going for us to get the money in to clear the debt, Kev, my one swear of the night, I'm fucking here for it, mate. I'm
Me
here.
Too, yeah, absolutely. No, you can hit. That's one swear. We'll have that. I'll mark it off. I've chalked it up on the book here. The Glazers need to go. What club in the Premier League doesn't need investment? There isn't a single. Apart from the ones that have got it already. What club is going to turn down a massive investment? I know there's people not agreeing with where it's going to come from potentially, but that's where the money's coming from. Nobody else has got that kind of money, unless you're going to take alongside it what comes with it, which is it's coming from here, it's coming from there. They stand for this, they stand for that. Investment's what we need. As long as they're not shoving their noses into the main part, which is the team, really. Trying to have a say on what the team should look like. We just need your money, same as every other club that's not had investment. Otherwise, you fall behind. We've just finished 15 in the league last season. The worst I've seen us since Ron Atkinson, 17th, it was that we finished. Horrific, absolutely horrific. And we need this, and it will happen. It will happen because despite us being horrific, Seshko, Mbuemo, Cunha, Diego Leon, all of these players still came to United, even though we are the laughing stock of the league. So they can all laugh away at us, but we're still a big draw. Financially, stock market, all the rest of it, we're still a big draw. to everyone around the world because it's Man United, and we always will be, and that's proven now. I didn't know whether that was possible, but having seen us finish so badly last season, but still seeing people wanting to be involved with United, still every weekend, despite what we do, the narrative is still Man United. This man, what story can we find to talk about Man United this week? Even though they won and they did this and they played well, we're still going to find something about them to be negative about.
Of course we are. Anthony says after that drag along date finishes, Sir Jim won't have to sell if he doesn't want to. And this again, this plays exactly, Anthony. It's a great comment. This plays into why I think the Glazers now are probably looking at this, realizing that they're not going to be as successful money-wise. The club isn't going in the direction for them to get in Champions League and get more money and to get the funds. So I think things like this is why I wouldn't surprise me if Sir Jim's like this at the moment. He's like this. He's like, I'll ring them now and find. They've put me on hold. Hang on, I'll try them again off withheld. They've put the phone down. This relation.
Are going to accept a minority or a force? Are they going to accept that? They're not going to. Are they going to go with that?
They're not. They are not going to allow someone like Sir Jim, if they want to sell the club, to ruin potential suitors. They're not going to want that. They are going to literally say, no, we're getting this done now. And like you two said, with or without you. Ben is 7 minutes behind us, but he is watching us on double, which must sound hilarious. Good to see you, Ben. Carl says, good evening all. Hope everyone has had a good day. I've had a bloody horrible day. Back at bloody work. Anthony says, can't see anyone, no matter how rich, paying 5.2 billion for something on paper worth 2.7 or whatever. It makes no sense. I disagree. And I use one word. And Kev, I don't know if you want to chime in with this. Vanity. Owning Manchester United for these trillionaires, it is vanity.
Yeah, it's what I said. It's exactly what I said. I think the price is going to be irrelevant. Somebody's just going to ask the question with the phone out. How much? 5.7. Okay, yeah, it's yours. But it's only worth 2.7. I don't care. It's fine. Somebody's going to go, but it's only worth 2.7. I don't care. It's Man United. We are Man United.
Imagine being the finance officer of that. What you want to spend? What?
Yeah, what you're way over. What do you mean? 2.7 to 5 or 2 million, 2.5 to 5.7. It doesn't matter if that's what it takes. Still, the people that we're talking about, maybe not so much Sir Jim. I don't know what his worth is. What Sir Jim's worth? How much money is he knocking about with?
I think Ineos is worth ridiculous amounts of money, but on paper.
But 5.7 billion to these other people, that's like pocket change. I mean, I know that's a silly thing to say, but it is. They're worth so much money. That's just and the amount that they're going to get back eventually, probably quite quickly, actually, if they come and put a lot of investment in. Obviously, the team will change really quickly and probably be like the other teams, players in. So we'll see. But whoever it is, I don't think the numbers will be an issue for them, because if they're talking about buying Man United, it's still Man United.
Oh, it's just the name, isn't it? It's the name.
The draw, the badge, the club, everything. The new stadium and all the rest of it, 100, whatever it was for the people that are looking at building the new stadium as well.
Carl says, I read that some previous players could be involved in the UAE bid. Who do we think they could be? I hope none of them. I mean, like, what will happen. I've still not forgiven Rio Ferdinand. I'll never forget him tweeting. It was right at the midst of everyone was waiting to see if this Alfani geezer was going to put the proper bid in, because they'd obviously done the interest. And he put this tweet out. And he must have been in with this Alfani, or he must have been speaking to the advisors there, because he put the tweet out saying, I've heard news, next Tuesday, that's when it's all going to happen. And nothing ever happened. I don't want any of them now. I mean, look, I'm happy for them to have their pictures taken, but no, definitely not. Andy says, will this impact our transfer policy in January? Will Sir Jim put his hand in his pocket? Well, Andy, that's a great point. And I think this question is brilliant, because it's going to be very interesting in January, because Sir Jim is now between a rock and a hard place. Because if he doesn't invest, people are going to say, well, he's definitely going. If he does invest, people are going to say, why would you do that knowing that the club's going to be... So it's going to be interesting in January. Now, let's not forget, we spoke about it. If you didn't watch the video, we did a live stream last night regarding Manchester United, the four midfielders we were looking at, and another one that Kev, bless him, Morton. This is Morton, yeah. You know him personally, yeah. This is where January is so important. Now, nothing with investment is going to be done anywhere near January. Even if they turn around tomorrow and said, right, we'll pay the 5-7, we're taking the club over. We wouldn't see a penny of that because it can't happen. But I do think a new ownership would completely change the way we look at transfers. Of course, it would. It'd be monopoly money again. It would be like
long time to January as well. Long
Sorry?
time. There's a lot can change. You know, a lot of talk can be had up until January. You know, there's probably stuff that's going to change week on week now. With this is ramping up. It's not going away. Is the main outcome. If nothing else comes of this trip, this is not going away. Despite what people think, it ain't going away.
There you go. Ben's come in as well. Said, remember Rio did that video at the train station saying it was happening soon. Still waiting, Rio. There we go. I knew Ben would have my back. Jamie says we at least need to be getting consistent UEFA Champions League until a takeover. Look, we've got two. The table's a bit of an odd one this season. There's been a lot of teams taking points off each other, but I'm not even thinking. I don't know about you, Kev. I'm not even thinking about Champions League.
I don't know about Champions League. I would still hope for some sort of European quest next season, and whatever level that's going to be, whether it's the Mickey Mouse one or whatever. We still need to be. I can't do another. I mean, it's still yet to be seen whether it's going to be good for the club, for the players this season, one game a week, etc. But I don't think I can do another season with just seeing us just play at the weekend. We need to, we need to be in Europe for the players' sake as anything else. That they're not gaining any experience and getting an edge on their opponents because they're all playing at a high level as well. That the people are coming up against. Yeah, the advantages they're going to be shattered from flying first class around the world for their Champions League games and coming back and all the rest of it. But training doesn't happen. Training's not every day at any of these clubs. So, you know, we still have that advantage, but I wouldn't want to see us not in Europe in any sense at all in the next seasons or before we get taken over. We still need to aim for something in Europe at least.
And also, this is another thing. What if United do go on this downward spiral that other clubs expect us to, you know, where we're not qualifying for Europe? And let's say we get to this 2027 date, which is it's 14 months away. Say we don't get European football for next season. Say we get to January next season and we're nowhere near European football. Well, then the Glazers are in trouble because if they haven't sold, the club's not been in Europe for a couple of seasons. That drops the sale price completely. That brings the sale price. There's so many factors whirling around here where, yes, it's nice to have realism from Jarl and say, look, I've been burnt before. I'm not sure about this. But there are so many factors here that just make me think that something is on the horizon. But what else have we got here? We've got, and as Carl says, make sure you hit the like on the way in. Make sure you're doing so. Warbzo says, agreed, Dan, this penny pinching doesn't dent the debt. Full takeover only. I'm already not too fond of Ineos, so if they go, it's fine with me. And Carl says, I've got an interesting spin on this. The talk of a football regulator could have spooked the Glazers, as I think they'd be one of the first lot of people looked at, potentially. Warbzo then goes on to say the buyer will need 5.2 billion plus 1.1 billion for the debt plus the stadium investment. We basically need someone that just wants to buy us for fun with more money than sense. I just wonder if we get bought out, if we were. Look, guys, if you're tuning in, this is all if at the moment. This is all if. But if we were to be bought out, I just wonder if they would do a new stadium or if they would say, right, let's spend the money on Old Trafford. Because there's so much space around Old Trafford. Old Trafford is you know, it's the theatre of dreams, regardless of the fact that it's turned into nightmares over the past few years. That place, it's special. It will always be special. It's a beautiful ground. I wonder if that would be different. I don't know, Kev, about you. I don't know.
It's that versus things. It's that versus things change. You know, a lot of clubs have moved on from their old stadiums. Lots of clubs over the years. I mean, Derby's the first one I remember moving from the baseball ground to Pride Park. And that stadium, I used to work close to Pride Park. That was an amazing stadium. We used to go there after work, and it was absolutely brilliant atmosphere and everything like that. So we've got to accept change because change is what's happening. As I'll keep saying, I'll keep harping on about it. It's season on season, and it's massive changes every season. So yeah, I'd be sad to see Old Trafford go. My first big experience of a big football club was at Old Trafford. I did that charity event, pushed that 6-foot ball around that pitch 100 times when I was 10, playing for Wordsley Wasps. And I'll never forget that experience of being in Old Trafford. And I've been back at the Seven restaurant, when I did the game against Liverpool, and we sat in the big fancy seats. It was absolutely stunning, and what a day that was. But change happens, and it's if we can't accept some change, I know it's a massive change. I would love for Old Trafford to be developed. Of course, I would. But that new stadium, I know you said it looks a bit like Butlins, but that's you look at the stadiums around the world. Look at the stadiums around the world. I know Tottenham Stadium. I know that one is particularly arguably the best stadium in the world. But we need to be seen to have the best stadium in the world as well. So if we can do that with Old Trafford, if a loads of money can be put into it, if we can make Old Trafford the best stadium in the world, absolutely, I would go for that 100%. But I don't know whether that's possible.
Sorry, I've just completely gone down a couple of comments there. Ben's put Ronaldo Jr. has re-signed for Man United, joining the academy next summer. That tells me a takeover is happening.
Is his dad now?
Yeah, I was going to say, because I'm not sure about that. I need to see viable sources for this, Ben. I've had a quick look now. I can see a couple of Facebook things, but if it's viable, that would be mad. That would be a massive tell, because why would Ronaldo allow it, considering he has so much not ill feeling towards the fans, but ill feeling towards what happened the last time he was at Old Trafford. Ronaldo Jr., by the way, he does look a talent. He does look a talent, but he's got the best bloody mentor, hasn't he? Anthony also says Ronaldo just hit $1 billion personal wealth. I think that's meant to be $1 billion. Chappie says, if I was Sheik, your money, I pay whatever. If I was Sheik, money. You would pay. You would pay what it takes. The speed the Prem works at, any takeover would take over a year to complete. This is why that 2027 date just keeps sticking in my bloody ears. It really does. And Andy says, I wonder what the new owners will think of Amorim. Well, depending on how long it takes, I wonder if Amorim would still be there by then, to be honest.
It's a bit into the future, but this is, I'm the eternal, I'm an optimist, an eternal optimist about my club. We could still have a fantastic season this season. Did that
correct?
Happen? None of us know what's going to happen, and we could by the end of this season, come May next year, the club could be worth even more money, and then by 27, if we get some decent players, or the players that we've got in go through the Liverpool transition type period, then again, we're on if your granny had balls territory here. That's where we're at, because we don't know what's going to happen this season. We can only see what the start of the season's been like. We all expected something different from the start of the season, but we didn't get it. But we don't know that, no one can predict. No one can predict what's going to happen this season.
I want him to be successful. Look, I've had a couple of emotional outbursts, as we all know. If you're not new to this channel, of course I have, but I want the guy to succeed. I do want the guy to succeed, and nothing would give me more pleasure than at the end of this season, Kev and I are sat here talking to you fantastic people and saying, fantastic, we've got Champions League football, this is incredible. And let's not forget, and this is just unfortunate, this is just the way it is being a Man United fan. Liverpool, 3 games lost in a row. They spent the money on Wirtz and Isak, not really hitting the ground running. You got Newcastle, I can see Queen Sophie's in here, who started the season very slowly, but look like they're starting to turn something. Forest, abysmal season. You got City, haven't been what anybody thought they were going to be. Chelsea, they beat Liverpool, but they still haven't got a goalkeeper. But the name on everyone's lips, as always, is Manchester United. United at 10th, United at this, United at that. And Kev, there comes a time where let's not forget, for the last 2.5 years on Football's 12th Man, on Race for Europe, when I've been on there, it has always been everyone laugh at United. And it just infuriates me that we're still having that conversation when other clubs are struggling. You look at I don't know if you see the Athletic one today, Kev. The Athletic have released who was the worst signing of the summer, and they put Sesko there. One agent put Florian Wirtz in there. One agent, and I look at it and I go, I'm absolutely sick to
Headline.
death.
It's for headline.
Exactly that. It's clickbait bullshit, and it just.
At that point, you know what? We've had conversations about this, Dan, and you know what? My reluctance about getting involved heavily with this channel, which I'm thoroughly enjoying, by the way. Now we had a conversation about that after the stream last night. Is that it then requires me to go and listen, and there's my swear, to the bullshit that goes on about United. I have to be involved in that, and I'll find it infuriating, and I refuse to be infuriated, because at the end of the day, it is just football, and that is just football. There's more important things going on in the world, but it's important to us. So stuff like that, that's just a massive wind up. That is, like, I was massively wound up with our top striker, our brand new striker, before a ball had been kicked, getting labelled as a supermarket. That was a massive wind up for me, and I knew my heart was still in football when I'm still getting wound up by people saying stuff like that, because that just wound me right up. I was so pissed off when that got mentioned, and without a ball being kicked, the games had not even been started then, and we were already getting slagged off for this, that, and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Yeah, but it might have played out a little bit like that. But how's Wirtz getting on?
009, mate. 009. And this is the thing. It's the classic case of rival fans. Instead of looking at their own clubs, the first thing they want to do is get on Twitter, get on the phone to their mates, get on their WhatsApp groups. United are this, United are that. And it's like rent free. This club, this badge, rent free. Rent-free.
Of all the years that it's same with the pundits, mentally and physically scarred from playing against Man United, getting slaughtered every week. So now that we're rubbish, they're absolutely reveling in slaughtering us, because they were slaughtered by us. Same as the referees. Referees couldn't get away with anything at Old Trafford when a certain person was in charge. Now they can. Yeah, I know it's a different group of referees, but the mentality of the refereeing group's still there. They will do whatever they can. Even some of the decisions have been horrific. And I know all clubs and the VAR has been in debate and everything recently, but the referees are just horrific with United, and the previous pundits and the fan group as well, because they used to come to Old Trafford and go away with salty, salty tears running down their faces.
Correct. What else have we got here? I will get through your comments, guys. If you make sure you comment, I'll get through them. I always do. Anthony says, I like what Sir Jim has done so far. In an ideal world, he would be a success and buy the rest of the shares out. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. You can support exactly who you want. I disagree. I don't like Sir Jim. I don't like the way he's gone about doing things. But Anthony, that is your point, mate. That is absolutely your point. Warzo says the Glazers could very well have used Ineos to raise the share price floor to $33. Give them a minority stake with a drag along, with the full intention to force a 100% sale at the higher share.
I think that's very close to what's going to happen. I think that is very close to what's going to happen.
Great comment. Queen Sophie in the house. Hope you are well. Good to see you as always. Is it happening? Not yet, but it might. With new owners, hopefully the gap will close and put us amongst the front runners again. Andy, that's the bloody dream, that is, mate. Everyone could just be getting this all wrong. It could just be Ronaldo buying a chunk of shares. He can buy away, honestly. Buy as much as he can. And as Queen Sophie says, make sure you are smashing the like. Connie says, is the Scouser still here? What Scouser? I don't know, Connie. I don't remember. Oh, do you remember that in the video?
Yeah. Is it your Scouse, mate?
That was it. I remember that. That was in the Grimsby game, I think.
We're not far from Liverpool, but I'm definitely.
We're not actually. We're not. We're far enough, though. We're far enough. Sophie says this could be another investor, couldn't it? If it's the same as what I read. There's so many different variations here. There's so many variations.
Whoever does it, they're going to have to. This is not just like some underhanded purchase that's going to happen. Whoever does it, they're still going to have to go through all the various. There's masses of regulations that they're going to have to go through: independent football tests, integrity tests, financial fair play, cross-border finance rules, UK government scrutiny, foreign. Whenever there's foreign, there's all that stuff going to happen. They're not just going to sneak in round the back of Old Trafford and go, there's 5.7. Can I have your club, please?
But I go back to
all of that they've got to go through. There's lots of hoops that need to get jumped through.
I go back to what I said before, like when Giles said, no one, the press aren't, the press have said it's not happening. Of course they're going to say it's not happening. Of course they ain't going to release it until they know exactly what is going on. Yeah. They know it. They need to know exactly What is going on? Because they can't come out on a whim at the moment. They can't come out and go, well, actually, do you know something? We think this might be right. The press, I call them the back posters, because the back posters, they always tap it in, the tap in merchants. They ain't going to put their name to it and get burnt. BBC Sport aren't going to come out and say, Simon Stone's not going to come out and say, yeah, it's happening. And if there's a chance it doesn't happen, for him to go, oh my God, I'm going to lose my job. He's not going to do that. So just be patient with it. Just be patient. Before we move on to the other bits of news, Kev, have you got anything else you want to say on it?
No, because I think I'm just going to go with it is going to happen, and I need to read more to be more informed. So I'm not just going to say stuff just for the sake of saying it. I'm not massively informed on this. I've been reading today, and I found it very, very interesting. So again, against my better judgment, I will do some more reading on it, and I will try and get a bit more involved. You know, I'm just at the moment, as I've said to you, I try not to pay attention to what goes on in between the week of a game to a game. I like to go from that game, have my reaction to it, and then move to the next game and not worry about what's gone on in between all that's getting talked about. So I'm not just going to give an opinion that I'm not well informed on about the takeovers. I've done a bit of reading today, so what I've said already I need to be more informed about it, and you will inform me as well as the people in the chat will give me a better idea of what they think. Like Warbzo, a great line from Warbzo there, and I think that's, from what I've read, that seems exactly what will happen. I definitely want 100%. I'm not sure about Sir Jim. I don't think that's it. But again, we'll see what happens with Sir Jim up until the end of the season. You know, people can still, you know, do something different and make us go, okay, well, maybe we need to think about Sir Jim a little bit more. At the moment, no. I would rather it just glazes out, disappear, Sir Jim gone, and let's start the fresh as it was meant, you know, as Amorim, is this idea of Amorim coming in and starting afresh. Let's just do that. And I will inform myself more over the weeks as to more about the implications of a takeover and what it all means and how it's going to happen.
The thing for me, this is why I don't think Sir Jim will be it, is because of the debt we have at the club. I think if we didn't have the debt at the club, I just wonder if Sir Jim would have gone, do you know what? The assets are there. Let's go for it. Let's go full sale. Let's buy them out. The fact that after buying this football club, if a full sale were to happen, whoever buys this club, before they've even put a quid in the bloody vending machine in the stadium, they're going to have to clear £1 billion worth of debt.
Yeah, that's. I mean, again, if somebody with a lot of money, that's nothing. We're still going to have over the piece before 2027. We're still going to have some income in terms of players that go. That, you know, we could rinse other people for as much as we can for the players that we're going to see go out of the club. So that, you know, there's still this give and take a little bit with what's going to happen up until then, and so much can change, not just with us, with other clubs as well. But the Premier League needs a Man United to be firing on all cylinders. That the Premier League needs that, and I think most fans of other clubs would agree with that. As much as they hate us, they would agree they need Man United to be challenging the Liverpools, the Arsenals. I
agree. Pete from the Loaded Mag, Newcastle United fan, says it all. You know, you say it all the time. I want United to be there competing. I want to see them going, and you know, we want those big games, those big clashes. At the moment, United just have the definition. That they're a definition of a cup competition team. And I know we went out to Grimsby, so get your lols in there, Sophie. But they are the definition of a cup team. We can't consistently do it. You know, it's always a one-off performance that gets us through. So I just, for me, I think we need to keep an eye on this. I think there is going to be so much more that's going to come out of this. We have got a lot, and actually, as Andy says here, what a season so far, up and down. If it's not on the pitch, it's off it, lol. There is so much that's going on about this club. And you know something? This, to me, tells me everything I need to know about the Glazers and how they feel about the squad. I don't think they feel confident that we can be a back-to-back Champions League, you know, a Champions League team. We can't go and qualify for it, which is why I wonder if they're cutting the losses. But let's not go over old ground there. Also, Sophie says, I agree, there's too much backroom football these days. I remember the days when it was just about the game week to week. I agree with that. Can't just pay the debt off now with, I know that, but they can put things in place with that, Sophie, that means that we would no longer be adding to that debt. We would be able to chip it off. And I'm the same, more competitive, the better, to be honest. This is why we love Queen Sophie here. Ben says, Jim has pulled all of his investment out of the UK with Ineos, so can't see him wanting to pump any more money into the club. Personally think he'd be happy to sell his shares and move on. And you know something? We haven't said that. We haven't. And Ben, that's a great comment. Not once in the last few days when we've been discussing this have we said, do you think Sir Jim wants to go? There might be a world where Sir Jim looks at this and goes, $33 a share. Yeah, sell it. I want my money back and I'm just going to go because this isn't working. This isn't where I want it to be. So for all of these comments about us saying, well, Sir Jim will obviously want the club, there is potentially a world there where Sir Jim goes, hang on a minute, phone's ringing. Oh, it's the Glazers. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, can't complain. Yeah, Sunderland, good result. Yeah. You want to sell the club? Hang on a minute, my accountant's here. How much have we put into this? Yeah, sell it. Yeah. No fighting from. Yeah, okay. I'll speak to you later. Bye-bye. Ka-ching. There's a potential where Sir Jim is probably sat there going, I ain't going to make money off this, because in what world does Sir Jim make money from Manchester United at the moment when, yes, the revenues are good, but yes, we're still going further into debt. He's trying to put the money in to bring players. He said at his own admission, I had to put my own money into, to save the club here. Maybe he is sitting there going, oh, do you know what? I can't be doing with this anymore. The fans hate me already. I've got a club here where we can't win 2 games in a row. The fans, because we've bought Sesko and Buemo, Cunha, Leon, Le Mans, now they want us to go out there and buy Baleba, Wharton, Henderson, Stiller. There is a potential here.
I mean, bloody hell. Anyone that's he should know. There's no stagnant. You can't just be stagnant with the club. You just can't just buy 2 or 3 players and go, okay, let's see how you go. The players need to come constantly. It's just evolution, constant evolution of a team. That's players in, players out all the time. This player didn't work, right? See you later. Agati didn't quite work. See you later. This, whoever, you're coming in, you didn't quite work out. See you later. Dallo, come in, you went away on your loan, did well on your loan. You came back, had a couple of good seasons, maybe a good season, but full of mistakes. We'll see you later as well. Some good luck in your new club. Hoyland, good luck at your new club. Banana, good luck at your new club. You've not worked out. It's all evolution of the team.
Correct.
And Sir Jim can't. Yeah, I would hope he is sitting like that. The infuriating thing is, we ain't never going to know what actually got. We'll never know what actually is said. The full truth, what goes on, because that will never come out. Because
this is probably where the comment, mate. This is probably where the comments come about Amorim. He's like, yeah, I'm going to keep him for 3 years. Yeah, do what you want. Do you know what I mean? You just don't know. So
it's a lot of hot air. The Amorim for 3 years thing, it's a nice sentiment. I like the idea of that. If Amorim's rubbish, he'll get sacked.
Of course he will.
And you know what? That's correct. That's how it should be. If the team are rubbish, horrifically bad this season, Amorim should be sacked for that. I don't know where that leaves us. Again, I would still prefer someone to have. I would prefer a half-decent season, even a top 10 finish this season. I would accept for Amorim to stay then. I would accept that. But next season then needs to be top 8, top 6 or whatever. That's what we need to be looking at. There needs to be progression. It can't be we finish within the top 10 and then next season, we drop down to 13th, 14th, again, that's not how I'm accepting him as a manager. As much as I like him as a person, which shouldn't be brought into it, which I've said to you, it's what he's doing for the team, system and all the rest of it. Oh, don't mention the system. There needs to be visual, actual, physical, tangible progress with the team in the table.
I agree.
I don't want to focus too much on what's going on in the background, Monday takeovers and all the rest of it. My main interest is with how we're playing week to week. Are we improving? Are the players understanding what he wants from them? And is he going to stop stalking around like a tiger up and down the touchline every week and just stand and have a smile on his face? I'd love to see that. I'd love to see him do well, the same as you would love to see him do well. Probably most people would like to see him do well as well.
Agree. I absolutely agree with that. And then we got, so Sophie says, the thing with Man U, though, is you need a full squad overhaul. Don't we know it? Steve says, agree, Kev. Amorim needs the time to get this team completed. Sophie says, but every other team improves at the same time, which makes it harder to jump up.
Yeah, exactly. All the other teams are going to do it as well.
My argument to that, though, is Liverpool spent 450 million and they look appalling at the moment.
Yeah, but they're giving excuses for some reason. For some reason, the press are allowing them to have. I don't know why that is. They're as big as Man United. Arguably, in terms of success and trophies won, because they've had good seasons. They get given these excuses for it's transitional. It's too many new players.
Transitional with 450 million spent.
Exactly. Frimpong can't even get in the team. That blows my mind as well, and my younger brother's a Liverpool fan. He's not happy with it, but he's still saying, we're still going to smash you every. I'm like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, you nearly swore then.
I did.
Wahaha says, like and sub if you're enjoying the show. Helps the channel out a lot. Make sure you do. Thank you, Wahaha. Andy says, sort the midfield out. Get rid of Bruno. We will be up there. I agree. Ben says, I think clubs should only be able to change managers during transfer windows. Would make it more interesting. I absolutely love that, and I do wish there was something like that. That'd be incredible.
That's been talked about before, and in seasons gone by, that it should be the same. Teams can't just be chucking managers out the window. You make your choices, you pay your money, you take your chance on somebody. And that would still see Forest with Nuno in charge of their team as well.
Warbzo says, I looked at how the buyout helped City. They were always mid-table. The year after their sale, they got 5th, 3rd, then 1st. There was immediate improvement, which is what we should expect from Ineos. And do you know something? I'm not going to talk up City too much because it's not the channel to do that. But what I will say is the people who have come into Manchester City, the Etihad, and brilliant. I think wasn't it the City of Manchester Stadium before?
It was to begin with, yeah.
But they have spent so much around the stadium, and it's great what they've done. They've come in and they've completely revolutionised the football club. Now, again, the 115, that's apparently coming out soon, whether it happens or whether it doesn't. For me, that is the exact representation. And Newcastle have got the same with the people that have come into there. If these people want to come in and sort the club out and sort it and just strip it and go for it, I'm here for that.
I love what's happened at Newcastle. I love what's happened at City. It's an amazing story for them. City were wallowing away in lower leagues and all the rest of it, and look at them now. I would have never thought that would have happened, but Mark Hughes was the manager at the start of all of that. He went straight away when they started to go, well, here's some new players. It's a great story. I know they've got stuff hanging over them, but I can only look at the examples in the Premier League and around the world of teams that have been taken over by, it's this consortium, it's this person, it's Arab Emirates, it's UAE, it's whatever. They all seem to be doing all right, and we've got some good examples of that in our own league. Newcastle and Man City are a great example of that. And at the moment, they've got the cheat code player, Man City, and they're going to carry on and go from strength to strength, even when people write them off. We'll see what happens when Pep goes at the end of this season. I think he'll still go at the end of this season. But like I said, we're not on Man City, we're on Man United. And I want to be having matches against Man City and Liverpool and all these big clubs and going, I'm confident we're going to do absolutely brilliant against these, and this is going to be a really good match. But I'm not at the moment.
I tried my best then, but I couldn't find it. The photo was when we scored the 97th minute winner, Michael Owen, and the camera panned to Mark Hughes, and he's just stood there, and he's like,
he was fuming.
He was furious.
He was arguing with Sir Alex that day. And you remember what number Michael Owen wore as well?
Number 7. Numero 7. As Queen Sophie says, that Liverpool are the media's darlings, and obviously, as Wahaha said, it's because the Scousers are the nation's darlings. Warbser says 15 isn't good enough, 10th isn't good enough. We have to expect top 5 minimum, or it's failing.
This season, are you thinking top 5? Is that what you expect of us this season? Maybe that's a poll. Is there a poll in there, Dan? Have you done a poll like that before? What are we expecting? What is it? How many? Is it 6 or 7 games that are played so far?
7, mate. 7.
So it's very early. We're not even at 10 matches. What do people expect us? Where are people expecting us to finish this season?
Let's have a look. Where do you expect United to finish? United.
I am intrigued by that. It's questions I like to ask, and I'm always intrigued by the age range of people. Being an old fart myself, and been watching them for a long time, and always feel people are expecting something from the glory years, but clubs go into dark times as well, and we went through a period of being really bad as well at the very beginning when I was supporting them. We weren't a good team at all. I just love Brian Robson. I just loved him.
Yeah.
That was where my that's why I started. And my dad was a Man United fan. My late dad was a Man United fan as well, so he loved Man United.
I've done it. I've done the poll. Whilst just a button, I'll let you finish that, mate. Where do you expect United to finish? Top 5, Europa, Conference League, or out of Europe? And Andy's jumped straight in there for you, mate, to help and said,
"Good, Andy. Good. Yeah. So I mean, and so and I like the idea. I always just feel that a lot of people in the fan channels are younger fans, and I can only take that from some of the things that they say. I'm not necessarily saying here, because I think people are actually, which I find really nice, is people are really educated on their opinions. That's why I feel a little bit inferior when I'm doing these sort of things, and I'm a bit anxious about being involved in this because people know a lot about the football.
Do you know what though, Kev?
It's really strong and well-valid opinions.
But look, the channel, this is our community. Queen Sophie's part of this community. When Isaac comes here, he's part of the community. The thing about the Dan United community here is this is just about a group of people having a chat about the football team. And you know something, like when you watch some fan channels and you can see that they try and go so technical, and I think you can hear in their voice, you haven't got a bloody clue what you're talking about here. You literally just go, no, this is why we do this. It's because it's just a chat about football and we get a few things off our chest. I can tell you what the vote is already looking like. Top 42% are saying top 5. 25% have gone Conference League. And then it's 17% apiece for Conference League. For Europa, that was 25%.
Yeah, and on paper, Dan, the team on paper, and I know on paper doesn't win championships or anything, but there isn't any reason why if we're comparing teams on paper, and people always go, well, would he get into this team? Would he get into this team? Would our players get into other teams? It doesn't matter really about that. It's how they play together, and there is potential for us to do that. I would love that. That would be amazing if we could do that. 5. What a shock that would be to everyone. Would be so shocked at that this season.
Imagine Amorim.
Would they be shocked? Is that what do other people expect that as well?
Chappie, I'm 65 but 21 physically.
I'm still 20 in my head, Chappie.
Chappie, I'm 38 but I'm 65 physically. I tell you.
Well, my year of birth is given away by the shirt above my head. So yeah, there we go.
Correct. What have we got here? Wahaha says, because everyone's been so bad, we ain't far off. And there's nothing wrong with that. Wahaha is right there. Anthony says, if Lemmy keeps playing like the Sunderland game, top 6. Yeah, look, Lemmy had a great start. But let's, please, with Lemmy, let's make sure we're there for him if he does make an error. It was a good start. This kid is going to make mistakes. Make sure
all goalkeepers make errors. It's like the Donnarumma made a mistake in that match. He was closed down.
Yeah.
Remembering that the City game, he was dilly-dallying on the ball with the clearance, got completely closed down, and that could have been a goal. That could have deflected into the goal.
I agree.
Was anything mentioned about that? Did you see any headlines about Don? No.
They don't, because it's United. We sell the stories.
Yeah, or he puts one in off the post, or it's the crossbar goes in off his back. It's going to be, same old issues. Brilliant. Love it.
It's something, and this is the problem. And Ali, good to see you.
Hi, Ali.
Good to see you, Mrs. Robinson. Dan loves you more than you will know. Mrs. Robinson loves Dan tonight because Mrs. Robinson is downstairs watching that bloody shite, The Summer I Turned Pretty. And here's a disclaimer for you, and I'm going to say it, and I may sound horrible here, but the girl who plays in The Summer I Turned Pretty, I'm in season 3, and I'm still waiting for her to turn pretty. Because she ain't pretty. She ain't pretty, but look, we're not here to shame. We're here to build, of course. What I was going to say, Kev, as well, is just imagine, right? And we can imagine because we're football fans. We dream. We absolutely dream. imagine if United did, right, do the unthinkable and beat Liverpool, and then we end up 3 points off. That would just be like the internet would melt down.
Reality is, I don't currently now, after the results that have gone and the way things have been played, I see that as doable. I think we can go and beat Liverpool. I think we can. I think there's a chance of that. I thought there was, a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I thought absolutely no chance at all.
Yeah.
No chance at all. But that's how quickly things change in the league. I still think there's some big upset results going to happen, not necessarily involving United. Some other big results.
We've had enough fucking upsetting results, mate.
Look at how well some of these teams are playing, Dan. Look at how well some of these teams are playing. And it's not always about who's got the best players. It's about playing as a team spirit, momentum, and everyone backing each other and believing in what they're doing, believing in their manager. So it's not about it's nothing to do with having the best players, because there's a lot of teams exactly will be 2 points behind them. It's not about who's got the best players. It's about who plays the best.
Exactly. And oh God, I mean, look, we will be live for that game on Sunday, guys and girls.
Will we? Oh no,
we will be live. We will be live. We will. Are you wearing pajama bottoms?
No.
Yes, you are. Do you know what the funny thing is? Hang on.
I've got his pajama bottoms.
Mate, I'll show you what pajamas I'm putting on in a minute.
Yeah, different Scotland.
Oh, mate, that's it. We're going to be modelling. We're going to be modelling. We're going to be modelling, mate. But look, back to the football. No, the thing is, football is a crazy, crazy sport, and anything could happen. If we went there and got a result, I want us to get a draw. I think we can go and get a draw there. A draw for me, I think, would be stunning. We've got Brighton, who haven't been great, but we've had this conversation before Brentford, and we went, well, we beat Brentford, then we go and beat Sunderland, and then it went to shit.
Even if we're going to lose, Dan, this is always my thoughts on. If we're going to lose, let's not lose like arseholes. Let's put ourselves down. Yeah, no. Well, I don't know what you mean by pants. I certainly don't have any pants on. I don't get a pants.
You're boxers, man.
You know, as long as we don't embarrass ourselves at Liverpool, as long as we're not, again, the 7-0s and all this kind of shite, as long as that's not happening, as long as we put up a good fight and we can come away, and the players can hold their heads up and go, you know what, we did our best, but they were just better than us on the day. That's all I ever want from a loss from Man United, is for me to feel some sort of solace in, well, you know what, that I thought they did really well. They were unlucky, like the penalty miss, the Brentford game. The pullback from Collins on Mbeumo.
Oh, that was a red card.
You know, these little things, I took solace from that, and that's what I was saying to everyone before I was cut off the stream because somebody ended it. That's what I was saying.
In my defence, I was 12 points deep by the time.
I was trying to use that as, listen, the match could have turned on that entirely. These are the tiny
when I called you and when I got into the stream, I remember walking outside and I drank like 3 pitchers of cider. Got outside, the sun hit me, and I was like, "Oh my God!" And before I went onto it, I was like, and I did it, and I thought, I think I did it right, and I hit end stream, and then as soon as I did it, I clicked, and I looked on YouTube, and because it's delayed, I could see you still talking. I thought, well, maybe I'm all right here. I want to see more of Kevin PJs.
They're not actually pajamas. They're just easy slacky bottoms to wear, and they're from Scotland. They're nice tartan Scotland.
I love this comment. Young men.
I wouldn't go out in them, mind you.
Young men wearing pajamas. I'll take that, chappy, all day long. Sophie says 1-1. She's got 1-1 for United for the United Liverpool game. And no, that's shit standards. We've got to win against Liverpool. I'd absolutely take a bloody win. Of course I would. A draw for me.
We should be winning against everyone that we're United. We should be beating every team. And that is the way it used to be. I was confident every match that we were going to win. We're going to win this one. And even when there was a bit of, we might struggle in this game, this might be a draw, I never expected us to lose in the glory days.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Mate, we've been at Anfield when we've been down to 10 men and beat them. Do you know what I mean? It happens. Steve says, guys, think of the positives compared to a year ago, lol. We're actually running for the ball and attacking that helps midfield, a goalie that can catch. What is it? I mean, yeah, it's
the team's better than last season. The team's better.
And Warbzo says, I forgot to say, we only get top 5 without Amorim, in my opinion. Nothing wrong with that. This United isn't the old United, Kev, says Steve.
It is not, no.
I do want to talk about something. And by the way, get your votes in, because at the moment, 50% of you think top 5, 25% with Europa, and then the rest are 12%. Now,
no, and I want to pick up on what, it's because I'm 100%. I've said, in other streams, and I don't know whether Steve was about when I said that I'll pull people up for keep harking on about Sir Alex Ferguson and everything. No, we're not the team of the past, but they need to create their own legacy now. And there's nothing wrong with shaping it on what the team was made of to begin with, because that's what most people remember Man United for. And obviously the older people that support the club remember the Busby Babes and all the rest of it, and how the team was devastated with all of that. So the legacy needs to be their legacy now, and they all get dragged around the museum when they come into the club, when the new players come into the club. So if that's not inspiring for them to try and be like that, then I don't know what else is. But no, that it needs to be. It's a fresh start with Amorim. It should have been, and they need to create their own legacy. And I don't want to keep hanging on to the past either. But we keep getting dragged there by everyone. Keeps dragging us back there.
I'll tell you who's good at hanging on.
I don't remember Sir Alex Ferguson. He wouldn't. Sir Alex Ferguson. That era's finished. I'll tell
you who's good at hanging on to the past, mate. Mrs. Robinson. She always likes to remind me if I've had too much to drink. Or if
the ladies are very good at that. They're brilliant at
very, very good.
Memory's brilliant.
There is some other bits here that I did want to touch on, because we're at the hour mark already, which is stunning. I can't believe that. So we'll go through these relatively quick. Now, Fabrizio Romano today reported about Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford doing Marcus Rashford things. He says, I feel like I've been in an inconsistent environment for a very, very long time. So it's even more difficult to be consistent. I think consistency is what I need.
Before you carry on, let me just get my small violin out my drawer here. Hang on.
He's basically coming out and saying that United was the reason that he was inconsistent. I find that absolutely atrocious. Like, yeah, okay. He's done well. He's gone to Barcelona. He's had a decent start. We've seen this Marcus Rashford. We've seen this Marcus Rashford. We know how this story goes. I guarantee if Barcelona sign him, which I hope to God they do, because it'll be the wages gone, it'll be a bit of money, it's pure profit, you will absolutely see the Marcus Rashford of old. You will absolutely see that. Barcelona at the moment, by the way, there's a bit of unrest there because Yamal's not getting on with Flick, is he? There's been a lot of back and forth there. I wonder if Marcus Rashford seeing this from the sideline and thinking, absolutely sound. If Yamal goes, I'm chilling.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to get your thoughts on that, Kevin. Chat. I wanted to get your opinion on the Marcus Rashford comments there. I'll say it one more time. I feel like I've been in an inconsistent environment for a very, very long time, so it's even more difficult to be consistent. I think consistency is what I need to bring into my game, and yeah, I'm looking to do that. Kev, what are your thoughts?
Marcus Rashford has been coming out with the stupidest things for a long time. And it just, people give him a lot of credit for all the charity stuff that he did, but that's where his downturn started, when all that started. And whoever advises him on what he says, it's not good at all. I don't take any interest in what Marcus Rashford said or what he feels. Again, for me, he feels like a head. Same as Garnacho, that little idiot, just headline grabbers. They're just headline grabbers. Marcus Rashford was given so many chances by so many managers at Man United to be in the team, to be the pivot of the team and everything, to be the main man. Apart from giving him the armband, I don't know what else, which he probably did wear the armband a few games as well. I don't know what else we could have done for Marcus Rashford. I would have loved Marcus Rashford to be a Man United player and us to be proud of him for doing a good job for us.
Should have been a legend, Kev. Should have gone down to be a legend.
And he can go on and he can sit in Spain and he can have his nice protection around him all them thousands of miles away and say what he wants. I'm not interested.
No, I agree. And I think, look, this just epitomises Marcus Rashford. We saw it so many times, the cycle. Marcus Rashford's out of form. It's the manager's fault. The manager gets sacked. New manager comes in. Rashford does well. Rashford then starts to hit that inconsistency. It's the manager's fault. Manager gets sacked. New manager comes in, and it just kept going and going.
I couldn't believe when the talk started that he might actually not be a Man United. I couldn't believe that he might not be a Man United player. It's like, what, Rashford? He's going to leave Man United? That's crazy. It's not, but the more that happens, you just go, yeah, okay, we'll see him later. Same with Garnacho. What, Garnacho's? We're going to leave. We're going to lose Garnacho. Actually, what? He's in a Villa top. What? Get him out. Get him out.
I agree. And Andy says here, that just sums up Rashford. What a claim. Yeah. Rashford said that with all the money he received. And that's a great comment. You know, we're ridiculously inconsistent, but he still took 350 grand a week, didn't he? Well, 300 grand a week. Yeah, do one, mate. Not you, Steve, Rashford. Couldn't take it if Rashford became a pundit after football. Don't know what I'd do. Yeah. Sweden are still losing to Kosovo. That's hilarious, especially with their front line of Isak and Gyökeres. That's hilarious. Ben says he was consistently shit at United. Good evening, Parv. Good to see you. He says, bro, Rashford is not consistent. Problem is that only. It is. I've said this so many times, and I don't want to say it. I don't want to bore you all with it, but I'll say it one more time. To be a world-class player, you can have world-class ability, but you have to have world-class mentality. Ability takes you so far. Sophie says, interestingly, there will be some truth to it, though. People thrive in stable environments, not broken ones. But my argument to that would be, Queen Sophie, was Rashford not a big part of these environments, you know, building in the club?
Oh, there's massive history on it, yeah.
And Amorim has done a lot. You know, obviously Amorim's got a lot wrong with regards to, you know, playing players out of formation, blah 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 blah. But one thing he absolutely did right was when he come in, he had a look at Rashford and he went, nah, you're not for me. And I wish, as much as Rashford's having these little digs, I don't want to talk about him too much, but I wish him the best. You know, I want him to succeed in Spain. I want him to do that. At the end of the day, the more he succeeds, the more money in our pockets. Off you go.
Back in the England team as well, isn't he? So
back in the England team, but he can't get in ahead of Anthony Gordon. Do you know what I mean? So it's all fair and well.
You love Anthony Gordon. You think he's great, didn't you?
I'm not going to say too much because Queen Sophie's here. But
we liked his hair anyway. We commented that we liked his hair.
The other bit of good news, and this is great news. I've been waiting for this news. You know, it's been here, there, and everywhere when this guy is back. Lisandro Martinez is apparently stepping up full training with the first team this week and is eyeing the fixtures with Brighton and Nottingham Forest as a target for his return. I cannot wait to see the Butcher back. All I pray, all I beg is that we get the Butcher back fully fit. I don't want to see him play 3 games and pull up with another injury and miss a load of football. He's missed a lot of football, in my opinion, already. I want to see this guy back because he has the mentality to turn this club around. He has been at most games with them. He's been involved with them still, regardless of the fact of the injury. This guy wants the team to succeed, and I think he slots in well, Kev, with this 3 at the back as well.
And we've forgotten what it's like to have him in. We've forgotten what it's like to have him in the team. We've forgotten what it's like, and he only knows one way to play. Correct. A massive career-threatening injury is not going to change the way he comes back and plays for us at all. He's going to be 100%, and that's the only way he knows how to play. If we can get the rest of the team in that mentality, you know, that's why players like him being in the team is a good thing.
And Ben's got a great comment here because I know Sophie put World Cup year, same as Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's fit for a tournament, isn't he? But there's a world we see this. There is a world we see this. Martinez comes back left side as centre back. Shaw gets pushed up to left wing back. There is a world where we see it now.
I think he plays better there. I think Luke Shaw he's out of the way at left wing back. I don't rely on him in the centre position.
I agree. Warpto quickly says about Rashi, he blames the changing of managers, but he's just completely changed the environment and manager moving to Barcelona. He's performing. His argument makes no sense. He's just putting in more effort there. I love
for
that.
Now.
Yeah, I love that because we've seen him do this. We've seen him do this.
Did it at Villa?
Did it at Villa? Yeah. I thought he was shite at Villa, to be fair. And then what I will finish it on is Kobbie Mainoo. So again, Fabrizio Romano coming out and reporting today that Kobbie Mainoo is trying his best, working hard and creating no problems at Manchester United. Amorim wants him to stay, but his story will pick up if he is not playing when it comes to January. Several clubs from England, Spain and Italy are interested in Mainoo on loan. Now, look, we talk about people wanting to get to the World Cup, which is why Xerxes wants to go. Mainoo, if he wants to play in the World Cup, he will have to leave Manchester United because we spoke about it last night, so I don't want to dwell on it too much, but Kobbie Mainoo is not taking Bruno's place. So even if we look at the fact we want these midfielders coming in January, Kev, for me, I think Kobbie Mainoo will go out on loan. I do. I think that will happen.
Yep, I agree.
Do you think
he's not going to get into the team? He's not going to get into the team.
I don't see him
getting in the midfielders in the England team as well. And I know Tuchel's having issues with Jude, or there's this potential issue with Jude Bellingham and all the rest of it. But look at the England midfield. He's not going to get into that midfield anytime.
No, is he hell? Well, we want two of them.
Already, but he's not getting in there.
We want two of them at United. Walker and Anderson.
Absolutely, yeah. Not without playing regular for United, because we know he's capable of it because he's already walked the path and got into the team and been a main part of the team for England and for United. But a lot going to have to change, and it ain't going to change because Bruno's got the armband.
No, I agree. I completely agree with that. Shaw will get injured at left wing back, says Jamie. Too much on his body. I don't know. I think he'll be.
I don't know. I think that's more out of the way. Then it's just running down the line, isn't it? We're not expecting him to put tackles in and all the rest of it.
That's true. And then Sophie says, "I see a Villa loan in January for Mainoo." Well, I mean, I know your lot wanted. We're having a look at him as well, Sophie. I know Newcastle were looking at him. But guys, we've been on for an hour and 10 minutes. That went really quick. Oh. Yeah, really, really quick. So, just make sure you do one thing for me, guys, and that is make sure you like and subscribe and share the video. It helps us out a lot. We are growing this channel. We're doing very, very well, and it's only because of the work that you guys and girls put into it. Thank you very much for the OGs for sticking by tonight. Haven't seen Moxie for a couple of nights. Hope he's all right. Great to see you, Sophie, as well. Always. Ben and Warbzo, wahaha, great to see Ali dropping in. And Kev, thank you very much for sticking with us again, mate. It's been great having you on. Where can we find you? Make sure you plug.
I'm here, Kevin87. Come and join me. We're wrapping up quite quickly to 11K. So yeah, channel's great. If you, like I said yesterday, if you like music, get stuck in. I don't expect anyone to just sub if you're not into it, but if you want to come across. It's just me. You'll be able to see that I am just the same in that stream as well, or on that channel as well. I am what I am. This is the studio that we use here at Kevin87's, getting a lot of traction at the moment because the channel's growing, and that's a lot to do with everyone here as well coming across. Like I said to you yesterday, Dan. So yeah, I'm here, Kevin87, every day, videos every day. At least 3 reactions. I do try and do new bands all the time as well. Get involved in my Discord as well. That's in the link in my channel, and you can request bands that you think I might not have heard of. That's what I always look for, bands from around the world that I won't have heard of because they're blowing my mind. There is no crap on the channel because it just doesn't make it on.
What a comment. Sophie says, top guy is Kevin Hobbs, the one and only Dan. Thank you, Queen Sophie.
Thank you.
And Ben goes, can play roulette.
Absolutely, yeah. The roulette and my live streams on a Saturday, I just do 3 hours of singing, or even more sometimes. And everyone's been really enjoying that. I enjoy that. I love singing. I was a singer in a band, so hopefully I can be pretty good doing the live streams when it's not crackling, of course.
Potentially an appearance from someone this Saturday.
Yes, we're trying to get Dan to come and do his first guest appearance, and you need to pick a song, Dan.
Mate, it's
and I'll get out of the way for a song at least, maybe 2.
Maybe 2. We'll see.
And Mrs. R around as well, so she can sing out of time for us.
We'll see. But guys, thank you very much for joining. This is Dan United and Kev United, the Brian Brigade, the Belabour Brigade, but more importantly, the footballing community saying good night and goodbye. Take care.